I just wanted to make a quick video about how to set up your atmospheric perspective grid and drawing. There's no tracing or carbon transfer or anything like that, but we're going to be working from your selected image, and it's a square. So, and you'll see when you start measuring out the board measurements that the area is also a square. So it's a 14 by 14 square, and we want to create a 7 by 7 image print that you're going to print. This is black and white, doesn't have to be a good quality. We're just using this image for stimulation transfer to transform it into a color project that's going to use all these different kinds of temperatures and textures and techniques to create the effect we're going for. But just quickly, when you pick your image from the internet, from my module, and you're going to post it so we know which one, when you go to print it, printers are all different, but if you print fully, it'll print all the way to the edge. If you print to fit, it'll be a little bit smaller. And you can actually get it square if it's a square image. Like this thing is a square image, but when you print it all the way, it turns into a rectangle. So since we're going for 7 by 7, you don't want it to be any smaller than 8 by 8. If you have a Xerox machine, you can actually play around with different versions of it. But let's say you have printed it and it's too big. It's better to be slightly too big than too small. And you're just going to break it down into the square that fits here. And all you need, let's just say this is the perimeter of it, and it's a square. You don't want to crop off too much. In fact, you might be able to have a little bit on the edge. But you're going to be using a ruler and measuring very carefully each inch until you get to 7. So you'll be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these will be 1 inch each. And you have to be really careful that it's as exact as possible. You're not expected to have strong rendering skills for a design class, but the more you use the grid and gesture drawing techniques, you'll be able to get it pretty darn accurate. So you're going to connect these with a ruler. I'm just doing it loose. So it's going to be exactly 7 by 7 when you grid. But this isn't what you'll be doing. You'll be doing a landscape or an atmospheric perspective. But so this is 7 by 7. And you're going to grid it every inch. If you don't have a T-square, you can do the dots on either side to get a clean edge. But since you've been doing borders, you know what to do in terms of clean lines, clean edges. All right, so I'm just going to do quick. So here's your smaller print that you are going to pick and print. And you want to print it at least 7 by 7. It can be a tiny bit bigger, tiny bit smaller. I find if I just hit fit to print, it works. Sometimes I do shrink it, but once you print it, you make sure it's only 7 by 7 area. I'm going to do that there. And then on your board, the center area is 14 by 14. The only difference is instead of every inch here, you do every 2 inch here. So you'll end up with 1 down and 2 down. I just want to go over that. If you have any issues with grids, or any sort of concerns about transferring a grid accurately, I have other videos for that for my drawing and painting classes. But it's really more about compositional planning so that it's in the right place before we start. So that's that.